The Chosen is moving right along through its Season 4 filming, and it has just completed its 5th week of filming. We are almost 1 month through the filming for Season 4, and I could not be more excited to see the upcoming season. This week, we got a few interesting details, maybe not as many spicy bits as we have in the past weeks, but this week was interesting nonetheless, and there's a little bit of drama that has occurred in the past week of filming that we're going to discuss today that I do want to cover because I want to make sure that everyone knows my thoughts on it. And as always, I do want to give a quick spoiler warning here. If you do not want to know what is happening in The Chosen Season 4 before the episodes come out, I completely understand. It is super annoying when someone spoils something for you just because you clicked onto a video and wanted to see what was happening. And you can go listen to my podcast, link down below in the description, while you wait for the episodes to come out, where I will give my full reviews on every episode of the show. And with that said, if you want to stay notified on all of my future updates for weekly breakdowns for The Chosen Season 4, then be sure to subscribe to Against the Current A The Chosen podcast and turn on all notifications for Against the Current A The Chosen podcast, because you're not going to want to miss those videos as soon as they come out. With that said, let's go ahead and roll that intro.
Trouble ain't bad if the bad is good.
Trouble ain't bad if the bad is good.
I said trouble ain't bad if the bad is good.
Now, before we get into specifics for The Chosen Season 4 filming week 5, there was something that happened during week 4 that people noticed that I would like to point out. So, something people have been noticing as the weeks have gone on for filming, during every week of filming, people have been pointing out that Yoshi Barrigas, who plays Philip, has been absent from all of the videos and photos that we've seen from The Chosen Season 4 filming. And this is just something people kind of notice and has kind of always been on my radar. I didn't think much of it until the Snipe Life, a fellow Chosen YouTuber, came out with a video discussing his thoughts on it, and that kind of blew the whole situation up, and now everyone's talking about it, and I started getting tons of comments of people asking what I think about this situation. And I will not say more than what has already been said. Brandon Snipe has made his observations, and Yoshi may be being replaced as Philip, and I'm not going to make any definitive comments as to what I think is happening, because it's not my place to say what's going on behind the scenes of The Chosen. Because if you remember, Dallas always talks about wanting to be open and honest and transparent with us as the viewers, because those of us who have given money towards The Chosen for funding for the show are technically investors and partners in this process of filming, because we are the primary financing source for the show. So therefore, we should be in the know as to what they're filming, because we are partners and a part of how the show gets made in the first place. So Dallas has always talked about wanting to be very open, and the fact that we get set videos and set photos and all this stuff from The Chosen Season 4 filming and future seasons is more than we deserve, because if you notice, for other TV shows, we don't get the creators of the shows themselves taking pictures on set, taking videos, showing where they're filming every day and like little snippets. It's more than we deserve. So the fact that The Chosen has an issue like this going on, and if you want to go watch Brandon Snipe's video, he is always very researched and very thoughtful about his videos and very insightful. So I would recommend that you go check out his video if you haven't already, which you probably have. But I'm not going to say more than what's already said. His observations in that video were very observant, very sharp observations. So based off of those observations that he made and what I've been seeing for myself, I'm not going to give any definitive statement. But I do trust The Chosen and Dallas Jenkins for the fact that, also because since the Snipe Life made a video about it and everyone is talking about it now, they still have not made a statement as of the recording of this video. So it is something that they are obviously being very thoughtful about not making a statement on this issue. And since Dallas always talks about wanting to be open, wanting to be transparent, and wanting to be honest with us as the viewers, the fact that they haven't said something yet and haven't given any official statement as to what's happening with that situation is a sign to me that they have a specific reason. Like they know what they're doing, they have their reasons for the things they do, and I've trust in the team and in the crew because they've built that trust up to this point. So I trust them with whatever decision they're making, whatever's going on behind the scenes, and the fact that they haven't made a statement yet, they have their reasons, and I'm just going to trust in the team and in the crew that they know what they're doing, and whatever's happening will be for the best of the show. Now, if Yoshi is not going to be a part of the show anymore, will I miss him as Philip? Yes, I think he did a phenomenal job as the character. He really embodied that role and gave the character such a great personality and acted out that character. He really did a great job playing that character and really making it stick in your mind. So I will be sad if he is not in the show anymore, if that is the case, which it still may not be. But at this point, I'm pretty certain that that's the case. But Will I miss him? Of course. But do I trust the crew? Of course. And we'll just have to wait and see what exactly is happening. And I would just say trust in Dallas, trust in the crew, because they know what they're doing. Also, I don't want to have a problem of the week per se, but I would like to mention I had prom last night as of the recording of this video, so my voice is very gone. So I don't want to hear anyone. I'm just saying that so that I don't hear anyone in the comments talking about or asking questions, just so to clear anything up so no one's confused. Yeah, my voice is a little off, but that is okay because I can still speak and therefore I can still make the video. So let's just go again, jumping right into filming because that's what everyone's here for and that's what we want to talk about. Now this week we got days 20 through 24 of filming, and on day 20 we have this video right here from Rebecca Rose. Where we can see this pretty big tarp over the set. This might be pickups from last week. We know it was kind of cloudy, and it's been kind of cloudy, throughout the production of filming. And they use this tarp to diffuse the sunlight because the sun is harsh light, not very smooth. Whenever light sources are imported into a scene for filming, they are diffused, which means there's something covering them, and it makes the light just kind of roll off of people's faces, and the shadows very smooth and not harsh and like lines, but more smoothed out images. They use a similar thing in season 3 when they filmed pickups from the Sermon on the Mount. Since when they filmed the Sermon on the Mount, they filmed it in wintertime, and it was very cold and cloudy the whole time. When they filmed it for season 3, the pickups, the sun was out. It was cloudy, but for the certain things they did film, they put this big tarp. I don't want to call it tarp, but this thing over the set because it gave it that cloudy look and it diffused the light because that's what clouds do to the sun when they are in front of the sun. So they're not getting this harsh, direct sunlight. So I'm wondering if this is pickups from last week's gigantic scenes that we got, or if it's a new scene because we know that this week there's some pretty cool scenes happening, and I'm guessing that this is just pickups from the week before the scenes there, just to kind of match the lighting, because it'd be weird if you're filming the scene and then it's cloudy at some points and then just harsh direct sunlight at other points. That would be kind of weird and it's off-putting. So what they're doing is probably just matching the lighting there for whatever other scene they filmed. We have this really cool image of Jonathan Rumi, who looks maybe contemplative, and this is a very interesting shot, but I really like this picture, so I did want to show it here on the video. Now we do have confirmation from this image right here from the actor of the guy who I don't know the name, but the tattletale, the really annoying guy from season 3 episodes 4 and 5, who tattled on Veronica twice. What a little snitch. So anyway, he's gone now. Good riddance. I mean, I'm just kidding. Obviously, the actor does a great job portraying this character. Just this character is not one. I'm not that mad at the character. I like to make fun of the character because he is, a bit of this thorn in the side of our heroes and just. Now we do have this video from Dallas Jenkins, the director of the show.
I know, he's just a baby. Very funny.
Don't you slap me. I'll call HR right now.
That shows the big thing that is over the set that we saw in the video from Rebecca Rose, but also we see this crowd walking by, and as we turn to the synagogue, which is where they filmed one of the big scenes last week, we see this guy who is a new character, but he's obviously going to be not just an extra, but a pretty important character. So I don't know who this could be, this guy here. Maybe it's Yusuf's father, or we know is going to be named Arnan. Or maybe it's someone else. I don't know. But this character, I just wanted to point him out to make sure people remember him because he might be important later. I don't know. Maybe he was a really important character who the stand-in was standing in for last week on the steps of the synagogue, which if you haven't seen that video that I posted last week, the link is available right up there, and you can check it out and see my thoughts on this big scene that they filmed last week. We also have this video from the Chosen official page themselves.
Action!
Where the whole gang is here, and it seems to be they're walking maybe out of Jerusalem because maybe they're starting a journey to Caesarea Philippi, which we can see in the next day of filming, day 21. We have some pictures here of the disciples all in a field. So maybe what they filmed this week is a scene where the disciples are walking and beginning their journey to Caesarea Philippi, and they're leaving the city, and these pictures are the disciples out in the field. And as we get from this video from the one and only DJ... see that Jesus is talking to Simon Peter exclusively, so that means that this definitely has to do with something relating to Caesarea Philippi, because we know that's coming in this season. They filmed it a couple weeks ago, which, by the way, you can check out that video right up there. So we know that it's coming this season, and we know that it's going to be a very important moment for Simon Peter in the show, getting his name changed from Simon to Peter. So definitely this episode, whatever it will be focused around Peter. So I don't know why they wouldn't film the scene earlier. Don't ask me that. They don't always film in 100% sequential order. But I'm guessing that this scene has something to do with Caesarea Philippi. Like maybe they're beginning their journey there. It would make a lot of sense to me. I don't really see anything else this scene could be. But if you have any other ideas, please let me know down below in the comment section, and I will be sure to check those out. We also have this image from the director, Dallas Jenkins, of this beggar here. And it says, look familiar, because this character was in, I believe, season 1. This beggar is coming back. I know a lot of people were pointing out that they wanted this beggar to be circled back to and be healed finally. And I think that's what's going to happen here in this scene. Whether or not it's on the way to Caesarea Philippi or has to do with something else, they're definitely filming a scene where probably this beggar here gets healed. And he might be the blind man that Jesus heals even. Who knows? I would love to see Jesus heal the blind man. I think we're going to get that in this season because it's a Bible story and they haven't done it yet, so it's probably going to happen in season 4. Next up for day 22 of filming, aka Wednesday, we have this video from Dallas Jenkins again.
The diocese seemed very alarmed that you were planning a public gathering.
Yeah, because he's coming from both Rome and Pharisees. I think it's a terrible idea.
Where we are back in Peter's house. Well, Peter and Eden's house. And speaking of Eden, it is confirmed that she is returning and she was on set this week because the actress herself, Lara Silva, confirmed it on her Instagram stories. And I know everyone's happy about that because we all love Eden, and I was kind of wondering where she was since she had such a big part of season 3 and we hadn't seen her yet in season 4. I was wondering a little bit about that, but nice to know that we have confirmation now. So most of this day was spent filming in Simon Peter and Eden's house. Because we have this scene from that video where you can see all the disciples are there in Simon Peter's house. So again, this might have to do with this episode. I think they're definitely filming for this episode that has to do around Simon Peter. This episode is definitely going to be centered around him, which I'm guessing is the episode where he gets his name changed finally. But maybe that'll span more than one episode probably. I think that's a pretty big story moment. But next up, we have this clip right here.
Yeah, there you go.
And this clip is a very interesting clip, and why I mentioned the controversy about Yoshi Barrigas playing Philip earlier, because in this scene you can see Alasafi tossing some tennis balls. He was juggling them, but off to his right you can see this new actor who his name is Reza Daikon, something like that, who people think might be replacing Yoshi Barrigas as Philip. And again, I'm not going to make any official statements because I don't know what's happening. But if this guy is here in this scene and being such an important part of it, he's definitely going to be one of the main central characters to the show. And I don't know if he'd be just some new character added in. That's the reason why I want to mention it here, because this week we did get more concrete evidence that he might be a replacement. And I would be interested to see what this new guy brings to the table. If he is in fact playing Philip, which we still don't know anything, and we don't know if he is. So that is all I'm going to say on that topic. I'm not going to mention it anymore because I don't want to go around stirring up rumors or stirring up drama. That doesn't need to be stirred up. And I don't really want to affect the chosen community in a negative way ever. I would never dream of affecting this community in a negative way, in any way, shape, or form. I always want to be a positive light for this group of fans who all love this show. So I'm not going to make any more statements on it, but I am sharing my observations and want to be a reminder to people to trust the chosen. And we'll see what is happening when the season airs in, I believe it's January, or like they're planning to air it next year. So we'll see what happens. But next up, we got day 23 of filming, and we have this clip right here. We can see that we are definitely heading back into the Roman sector of Capernaum. They definitely filmed a couple of scenes in this area here where these Romans are kind of hanging out and having fun. Maybe this has to do with either John the Baptist's story, because we know that we're going to see Herod Antipas, as well as like all of that, those Roman-esque characters. So maybe this has to do with him first of all, but I think it more likely has to do with Gaius because there's some clips later, I believe on day 24, where we see Gaius. But definitely we're having some Romans in this back half of the week. But also on day 23, we have this clip from the Dallas Jenkins, the director.
Oh, wanting to be right about something.
Or for someone else who've been getting it wrong their whole lives.
Yes. Yes, that's.
Where we see Jesus hanging out with little James and Thaddeus, two characters that I have always said I wanted to see more of, and I'm glad that we're getting a scene where Jesus is talking to them exclusively, because again, they're two characters that I've wanted to see more of, and they haven't gotten kind of as much screen time as the others in my opinion, so I would love to peel back more of the layers of these two characters. And of course, The Chosen has 12 main characters to juggle. For any TV show, that is a hard feat to accomplish, and The Chosen does it with such excellence that it's hard to really complain about anything like that. And they do give little James and Thaddeus both great amounts of time to shine. They both are very fleshed out and real characters. I'm just saying I would always love to see more of them, and we are seeing more of them in this scene, as it looks like that they filmed on day 23. Now, also on day 23, Elizabeth Tabish, who plays Mary Magdalene, her husband was on set as a Roman soldier, so that was kind of cute, kind of fun, nice little detail in there that everyone was very happy to see. And me personally, I think that's a cool detail. That was kind of cute. It was kind of fun. But finally, we have this video from Dallas Jenkins, the director, for day 24.
Background. Action.
Where we see Andrew, John, and Big James walk up, and Gaius walks past them, and they look a little stunned. They look a little, I don't know. But Gaius is wearing very elegant clothing, but definitely not his usual Roman armor. So, again, I think this is a part of that scene that they filmed on day 23. We're in Roman territory here, and Gaius walks by them. So whatever's happening here, Andrew, John, and Big James are all maybe going to visit Gaius. They're obviously, Andrew has a bunch of supplies with him, so I don't know what they're doing here, but definitely this has to do with Gaius, and maybe something to do with his plot line, with his servant that needs healing and is sick and dying, that Jesus heals without even being there. Maybe this has to do with that scene, but either way, it's a cool scene with Andrew, John, and Big James. That has to do with Gaius, and I can't wait to see it, as well as all of these scenes that they filmed this week for The Chosen Season 4. With that said, that brings us to the end of week 5 of filming. We are 24 days into filming for The Chosen Season 4, which means that by the end of next week, we will basically be 1 month into filming, which is kind of crazy. And I'm so excited to see The Chosen Season 4 when it finally airs in 2024. I just can't wait to see it. And I know that you loyal fans who stuck around to the end of this video can't wait to see the next season just as much as I can. So, with that said, I'm going to ask you again, if you haven't, to go ahead and subscribe to Against the Current of The Chosen podcast and turn on all notifications, because you're not going to want to miss any video that I post, because there's so much to talk about when it comes to the next season of The Chosen. Be sure to check out all my other videos if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video, where we'll be covering week 6 of filming. I hope to see you there. Binge Jesus.